going on, guys? Back with another video, and we're gonna be kicking this one off right because you already know it's beer 30 and Rona season. So it's just what's gonna happen tonight. Gonna drink a lot of beer, kind of work on the car a little bit. Not this one, unfortunately. This guy is pretty much done for. There's really nothing I need to do to it right now, except for paint it. But I already did an oil change on it, all that stuff, and really the car doesn't need anything else, surprisingly. So yeah, we're gonna pull that thing out, get started on the EG. Like I said, I'm not really sure what we're gonna be doing on it just yet. So let's go ahead and get that thing pulled in and see what we can work on tonight. So shipbox number 2 is in the shop, and as you guys know, EK swapped the world. Just kidding. That is a 2000 EK hood that I just have sitting on there to kind of keep water out of the engine bay. But yeah, that's really all I got going there. Anyways, I think I figured out what I'm going to do today. Like I said, I didn't really have a certain goal in mind, but I think I'm going to start stripping the engine bay out. Getting rid of the brake lines and the wiring and just cleaning everything up so that I can repaint it, because whoever had it last kind of shake and sprayed everything under there, and I think it looks horrible. So that's probably what we're going to be working on today. So let's go ahead, get this hood off and start stripping the thing down. So with the hood off, you can see all the overspray and the nasty spray paint that I do not like whatsoever. Up here you can see all the overspray on the brake lines, fuel lines, stuff like that, brackets and whatnot. And down there, this ugly gray color that they have the whole K-member and steering rack painted. And just, it's all over the place. I mean, you know, up front it looks like they didn't do a very good job taping off the headlights before they painted them. So we're just going to clean all this stuff up. I'm going to strip out the entire engine bay, brake lines, fuel lines, you know, everything. I'm going to pull it all out and get it all cleaned up, and then sand down the engine bay and get it painted. Hopefully I will be able to do that this weekend, get that shot with paint just like I did in the EK. I'll probably just do this one black because I do have a bunch of black paint laying around, and hopefully it turns out good. Alright guys, it is a couple days later, 2 days or so to be exact, and I didn't film much of tearing the car apart. It ended up turning into a huge ordeal. All the paint, they had used a bunch of spray paint all over this thing, and it was a pain in the ass to get off. I also broke my Hotsy. You guys that don't know what a Hotsy is, it's that big yellow thing right there. It's a high pressure washer. It's a pressure washer, but it also gets really hot. It's like a steam cleaner almost. And even with a ton of paint stripper and the Hotsy, I could barely get all the paint off this thing. So all last night I spent sanding it down and wire wheeling everything and just trying to get it all cleaned up. There was Bondo all over the place, spray paint all over the place, and it was just a mess. So anyways, as you can see here behind me, the car is completely stripped out. I have everything out of it, and I've already prepped it for paint. So we're gonna bring it outside, give it one more final wipe down with some lacquer thinner, and hopefully start painting it. I went and picked up the paint this morning. I was actually pretty surprised. It was only about 80 bucks for a quart of the Milano red or whatever color this is. So that was cool. But as you can see, here is the car, and I've already put a little bit of primer on the front just to kind of cover up a bunch of stuff. But you can see back there on the firewall how spotted everything is, and how there's like a bunch of red, a bunch of not red, a bunch of everything. And that's just from trying to get all the Bondo that was over there off, and all the old spray paint that was really nasty. So yeah, I just spent a ton of time working on that, and that's why I didn't film it. But yeah, we're gonna get it outside, wipe it down, and hopefully start painting this thing. It should be pretty interesting. I'm gonna use the forklift here to lift the car up and take it outside because there's no front wheels on it, and this jack won't roll through the gravel very well. So let's go ahead, get the thing pulled over here, and see if we can get this thing outside. is the best way I come up with how to move the car in and out quickly and efficiently. I have to do so because it is kind of windy out there today, so I don't want it kicking up dust while I'm trying to paint. But yeah, I need to run to the store, go get some more primer. We're gonna wipe down the engine bay one more time with lacquer thinner and make sure there is no oil or residues left on it. We're gonna hit it with a thin coat of primer, and then we're gonna pull the car outside and get painting on this thing. So yeah, I'm anxious to see how it turns out. I hope it turns out really good. It's not gonna perfectly match the red. It should be really close, but from factory, the red that are on these cars is actually a tri-coat, and today we're just doing a base clear on the engine bay. So it'll be really close, but if you're a perfectionist or OCD like me, you are gonna probably notice the difference between the bay and the outside of the car, but no big deal. So let's go grab that primer, get this thing knocked out real quick, and see how it turns out. Alright guys, so as you saw, I was just priming the engine bay. It's quite a bit later now. It's actually dark outside, as you can see. So what ended up happening is I used Rust-Oleum automotive primer, and I hate that shit. I've never had good luck with it. I hate pretty much anything from Rust-Oleum. I've really never had good luck with it. I don't know if it's what I do or what, but anyways, I primed the whole engine bay like an idiot, even after I noticed the primer wasn't working well on the metal. It was like really flaky and like really gritty. Like you could run your hand over it after it was already dry, and it would just like roll off of the metal. But like the undercoat was on there. I don't know. Anyways, it was just really pissing me off, and I didn't think the base coat and clear coat would adhere to it very well. So I spent a couple hours with lacquer thinner wiping off all of the primer I just put on the entire engine bay. And yeah, I was really pissed off, so I didn't film any of it. And then it was starting to get late, so I just went ahead and started spraying the car. And I've already got my 3 coats of base color on it and a coat of clear. I'm just waiting for this coat to green, which is what I call it when it's ready to paint. But anyways, I'm gonna put 2 more coats of clear on it. Hopefully I can still see something with the darkness outside now, but it's looking really good. I ended up using another Rust-Oleum primer on it, but it was like the stuff that I'd used on the core support. It was just like a universal, like all projects primer, and it worked really good. So I don't know if it's just their automotive stuff, but anyways, I put that on there. Now I have my 3 coats of base, which is the red, and a coat of clear. Let me grab my flashlight and I will show you guys how it is looking so far. And then we will mix up our 2nd coat of clear and go out there and paint it. As you can see, kind of got a mess going here. I'm over here washing the gun currently in the old red lacquer thinner. So just letting that soak in between coats, and then we'll clean everything up really good. And we'll spray the 2nd coat of clear. So anyways, here's the car. I don't know how well you're gonna pick this up. I'm gonna pull the car in here in a little bit and you guys can see it inside the shop light. But it's looking pretty good. It's got a really nice shine to it. So yeah, I'm gonna put my 2nd coat on here real quick, and we'll go from there. What? Why? Why?
Get out, Rico!
Well, that is the second coat of clear, and that's all I'm going to put on it because that's all that Deltron says you should do. So yeah, hopefully it looks good. I don't really know since it's out in the dark, and she got a little runs in her because you know, it's kind of hard to see. The gun's a little heavy. So yeah, pull it inside, see how it looks. So we got the car back inside, and it's looking pretty good. It's definitely not perfect. There are some, you know, runs and spots that, you know, I'll have to either sand out or probably just leave because I don't care. Like that guy right there, just dripping. But anyways, it's kind of hard to clear coat when there's no light outside and it's clear. So yeah, anyways, doesn't look bad. I'm not sure if it really matches the rest of the car until I get the paint off. Maybe it's just because it's fresh and really shiny and the rest of the car is not, but we're gonna start untaping it. Lady friend's gonna help. If she fucks it up, she might be dead tonight. We'll see. Not sure yet. But anyways, we're gonna start getting it untaped and go from there. Hopefully it looks good.
You're gay.
Oh, shit. So we got the car back up on the lift, and this is where it's gonna sit overnight. I'm gonna crank the heater up and help this stuff cure a little bit. But it turned out pretty good, minus the runs in the clear coat. But I'm not too mad about it. I can either wet sand them out or just leave them be, because you'll really never see them because they're down on the frame rails. What's kind of funny is these two over here. You can actually see the clear, how it dripped down. And clear is really tacky, like really sticky for people that didn't know, like automotive clear. So pretty funny, but we'll just clean that up a little bit with some sandpaper and call it a night or a day, and we'll start putting it back together. So yeah, pretty happy with how it turned out, and hopefully we will start putting a motor together for it and get that slapped in. My goal is to kind of have it done by the end of next month or a little bit sooner if we can. So yeah, it'd be sweet to get that done and knocked out and just go drive it down the street. But yeah, this Wednesday or later this week, I don't know when I'll upload the video, we're gonna be going to the drag strip again, and we're actually going to be driving the EK out there, the 50 Shades of Grey car, and instead of trailering it. So that should be pretty fun, and hopefully it doesn't break. Probably just jinxed myself, but whatever. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to stay tuned for some new uploads here in the future, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.